Good night, Miss Ingrid.
Ollie?
Yeah.
Your house is a mess and you're a terrible cook.
I know. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
Sleep well.
It was tough starting out. You got a homestead, 160 acres, but one man and one horse couldn't plow much more than a third of it in any season. Oh, up in the Red River Valley on the Bonanza farms, they had big crews and machines and thousands of acres of wheat. But further west, the land wasn't quite as good. So you just scraped out what you could and you made do. So Ingrid stayed the night, and Ole stayed out in the barn. And in the morning's light, Ole's little sod house seemed even less welcoming than the night before.
Are you decent? You're an old sleepyhead. Make yourself decent and I'll make some breakfast.
I'm sorry, I meant to be up sooner.
Yeah, it was a long trip without a happy ending. We're tired.
You want me to work today?
Is it Sunday?
No.
Then we'll be working.
What are we going to do?
No, if you're going to be staying here, for a little while at least, why don't you pick up some around here? I've got some work out in the field.
Oh, these are filthy.
What happens when you work?
Well, do you ever wash them?
A maid is just useless, I tell you.
How can you wear this?
Well, I got two sets of clothes. I wear the one until I can't stand it, then I switch, let the other one air out until I have to try it again.
Do you want me to wash them?
I don't have a well. You have to go down to the creek to get some water.
Well, that counts my job for today.
I don't doubt they'll earn your keep for the day, Miss Ingrid.
Do the Dalstons have a nice house?
Oh, very nice, I think. Saw, but 2 stories. They're doing pretty well, till they died.
What's happened to their farm?
Well, it's still there.
Really? I thought it would have followed the children to St. Paul.
Oh, they were very small children, so they couldn't carry most of it. I'm sure they'll inherit it and try to sell it. But nobody's buying these days. That banking trouble back east has caused some problems here and there.
Yes, it did. A panic, they call that.
It certainly has caused a lot of panic around here. Coffee?
Yes, thank you. It's better than your potatoes.
Well, my mama taught me to make coffee. You'll be alone in America, Ole, she said. We should learn at least how to make coffee.
Why didn't she teach you to make potatoes?
I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
She's still alive.
On the farm in Trondheim. She sends a letter now and then.
And your father?
Still talking to the goats, I'd guess.
He talks to goats.
Well, they listen more than my mother.
Do you miss Norway? I've never been. My grandfather says it's beautiful, but very hard to make a living in.
That sounds about right. Like I said, I made enough money to come here and filed my claim.
4 years is a long time to be tied to some land.
How did you know about that?
Oh, my father knew lots of farmers, so we talked about things.
Well, I better get out there. Have a good day, Miss Ingrid.
What do you want me to do?
Well, whatever you can find to do around here will be one less thing that I won't get to.
Do you want me to make lunch?
Now, can you cook?
Not much, really.
Well, then we're even.
I'm sorry, I'm not much of a help, am I?
Well, I don't know that. I haven't seen you work yet. But if you cook, I'll probably eat.
Truth be told, Ingrid was a hard worker. She always said she didn't care much for farm work, but stubborn as she was, she could get something done. And so they worked together sometimes, because in those days, if you were just starting out at a farm, everybody pitched in who could walk, men and women both. So Ingrid stayed on for several weeks, because she couldn't think of anything else to do. But Ole was a nice enough fella. Nicer than most she'd met.
You know, Miss Ingrid, you're probably better at sewing wheat than you are at cooking.
You should see me sewing cloth.
I don't like that. You should have a nice house with a parlor someday. You could sit and sew and drink a little cup of tea.
What if I don't want that?
Well, you should have something nice, I guess. Something you want.
I don't know what I want anymore. I thought it was the city.
St. Paul? I heard it's very fancy.
It is. Then the panic came and I lost my job, and then the Dostons advertised for a nanny, and you know the rest.
I'm very sorry that didn't work out for you. I'm sure something will come up.
I hope so.
Me too.